Mercy Hospital, November 5th, 3:35 p.m. Operating Theater A.
Knife. Forceps.
Suction.
Dr. Bornier and a team of surgeons are commencing a highly complicated brain operation. Operating Theater B, Mercy Hospital. Simultaneously, Dr. Swenson and a second team of surgeons are performing an identical operation.
Bone drill. How much longer?
Are you taking your patient down here? Do we want you?
Hey, here he comes. Hey, Doc, what do you know? Hey, what's his condition?
Hey, going up there.
Come on, just a question. Is he okay?
9:45 p.m. Dr. Bornier has now begun the most critical phase of the operation.
Sponge.
I'm sorry, sir, there's no information. The district attorney is still in surgery.
Can you give us any more information, Mrs. Rowe?
What are your expectations for the district attorney's complete recovery?
How long has he been up there?
Did Dr. Bornier fly here just for the operation?
Mrs. Rowe, did the doctors tell you how long it would take?
Your husband's been in surgery now for more than 4 hours, hasn't he?
Did you know they were going to operate today, Mrs. Rowe?
10:30 p.m. The third and final phase of the operation is now in progress.
Doctor? Skull flap.
Why, Doctor?
A completely successful operation, Dr. Bornier? Or is this just another step along the way in neurological surgery?
We are not just experimenting.
Is his new body responding to his brain?
Is he breathing without help?
What are his chances, Doctor?
We are hopeful. Did he know Ralph Dixon? It was an emergency operation, wasn't it?
Dr. Bornier, did he know that Ralph Dixon was a Negro?
Yes, he knew the subject's body was a Negro.
What is he now, Doctor? A white man in a black body or a black man with a white brain?
Margaret. David Rowe is what he always was, a human being. Please.
He doesn't move.
He's in coma. The functions of his body are operating involuntarily, as ours do when sleep. It's unbelievable what kind of excitement this operation is stirring up, Margaret, all over the world.
No taxpayer complaints. No pressure groups. Well, no more than ordinary, that is. The police department, the grand jury, everybody's pulling for David, 110%. As pro tem DA, I'm so bored. Everything's going so well. Margaret, you're very tired. You can't spend 18 hours a day at the hospital. I know that the shock of finding out that David had terminal cancer and this operation.
There was no time. We couldn't wait.
Heart healthy, but slow. His blood pressure is improving. His internal organs seem to be functional. His reflexes are still sluggish, but there seems to be some improvement. His temperature still is a little high. His body still is in shock.
Could he remain comatose indefinitely?
Every hour like this is a golden hour. He's very fortunate. He has a strong, healthy new body. He couldn't have picked a better body.
Bill?
I got down from the Capitol as quick as I could, Margaret.
Thank you.
How is he?
Well, better than the doctors hoped.
Gonna see him for a minute?
Sure. Though he's still in intensive care.
Changed a bit, hasn't he? Damnedest thing. Lasers, DNA, and heredity. Even a new body if you need one. Well, I promised I'd only look in.
I appreciate it, Bill, because I know how busy you are.
He'll be fine. He'll be back in harness before you know it. Tell him I was here.
Will do.
Mrs. Rowe? Mrs. Rowe? Isn't that Bill Chambers?
Yes. State Senate Majority Leader. Head of the party.
Progress. Very good progress, Margaret. His pulse is stronger, his body functions are better, his responses are quicker. Dr. Bornier performed a second operation in Stockholm 6 hours ago.
I made it, Doc. I made it, Doc. Meg.
Hello? Mrs. Angela Rowe? David, it's your mother. Yes, put her on then. Hello? Hello, Angela.
Oh, Margaret, you know how upset I am at not being able to be at the hospital with you anymore. I guess it was the strain of David's. Yes, as soon as the doctor says I'm able to go out, I'll be there. How is he?
Well, he's no longer in the intensive care ward.
You seem to have remarkable recuperative powers. The press want interviews and photos, but we'll hold them off for a while.
Meg, we have a book at home. John Steinbeck.
The moon is down.
Right. In my study. Which shelf on the right? On the top. I think I'd like to read again.
Morning, Jim.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. How are things at City Hall?
Oh, fine.
Oh, you'll have to excuse me. I'm on schedule, and the chicken will get cold. I know it's kind of strange seeing me with a new face, but...
Yes, I... Oh, of course I knew, but it's a little shocking.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Oh, relax, Jim. Come on, sit down, please. Look at Meg. It's been quite a shock for her, too. Oh, I guess you say I'm the baby we've never had. Oh, by the way, I left instructions with Roger Morrow on that conflict of interest matter. I hope it's being handled the way you want.
Handled? Oh, yes.
Still got that potbelly, I see. Well, when I get on my feet, we'll have to go to the club and hit the steam room together.
Well, I hope you'll be all right. I hope it all turns out right.
Stupid ass. Early winter.
Weatherman says there's more snow on the way.
Who else from the legal fraternity?
Well, all the municipal judges, I think, and Carberry, Poe, Molson. Oh, they're federal, aren't they? Bill Chambers sent a telegram every day you were in the hospital. Now a card every day you've been home.
And His Honor the Mayor?
Negative.
What about the Carters?
Hundreds of people have written, and friends have phoned, and,
And some haven't.
What do you think about David? Alone in your thoughts?
Don't. All right. I'm afraid, Meg. I don't understand what's happening. I just don't understand. I thought the whole thing was supposed to work. That's what I have to look forward to the rest of my life. Invalid. Saddled with a crippled body.
Dr. Kalman said that your legs would be the last to come back to normal.
You know, Meg, the brain is everything. I bet if you took a brain and put it into any mechanical body, say a robot, I bet that robot would have an identity of its own. 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 Identity of its own.
David, may I come in?
Oh, please.
Don't get up, David. I'm not disturbing you, am I?
No. Sit down.
It's been a long time since we've been able to have a chat, David. It's hard for me to believe that you're my son.
Well, it's me, Mother. Your face looks a little blotched. You've been eating chocolates again. And you promised me that you'd exercise some self-discipline. Mother, do you remember when I was a little boy, and every time I sneezed, you'd always shove that damn cough medicine down my throat?
I did give David that damn cough medicine.
What about that pretty secretary of Dad's, Natalie? Didn't you always say she was just a little flirt? And weren't you always extremely jealous of her? Do I sound like your son David now?
No. You sound more like your father. How can you look so different without being different?
Just published by Professor Grant Milton of Berkeley, David. He's the country's authority on forensic medicine. His conclusion was that since the brain of David Rowe survives, the brain which reasons, has compassion, personality, loyalties, and love, which has memory, instinct, and sentience, then David Rowe, District Attorney of Doreen County, survives medically and legally. Clear enough, David?
Clear enough. So I said to Kelman, that'll sound good in the medical journals. But I wonder what it's really going to be like when I go back to work.
I can't worry about it ahead of time. Oh, it's Margaret Rowe. I see. Would you please tell Mrs. Carter that I called again? Thank you.
Not home, huh?
Well, we might just be missing each other.
Your closest friend, Meg.
David.
It's because I'm black now. That's why she doesn't want to speak to you.
We had to expect some reactions.
Some reaction, yes. But not from supposed old friends. I'm still me, Meg. David Rowe. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know it's not easy for you now.
Oh, I'm all right. Hey, you know what? You're going to need a whole new wardrobe.
Yes, nothing fits.
You know, it's really so amazing, David. What must it be like to have a whole new body?
Frightening, Meg. Frightening. Last night I woke up from one of those nightmares. Suddenly my heart was pounding so fast. And then I realized it wasn't even my own heart. Yet it is now. The first thing in my head when I came to, well, I was just so damn glad to be alive. Now there are things about my body I can tell you. I hear better, see better, feel better. Better than I ever remembered.
It's wonderful, David.
Oh, I know it's going to be cold out there in the marketplace. I'm going to have to be patient and make adjustments for everybody. But they're going to have to make adjustments to me.
I'll see about lunch.
Hey, wait a minute. I love you, Meg.
I love you too, David.
Well, how do you like new threads?
It's terrific, honey. Really.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
How about the back?
Fits beautifully.
What are you drinking, Meg?
Oh, it's a drink. I have one occasionally.
When you're a little upset, when you're tense. I wonder if I can have one.
Well, the doctor said not yet.
If I didn't know every quirk in your mind, everything that's eating you inside, what kind of brain did we fight to save? Oh, Meg, the brain is a marvelous thing. It's really everything. David and me, Margaret and you. Give it time. If you want it. If you want to hold on.
I don't know if David ever had reason to tell you about our sex life.
He always seemed a happy man.
It was complete, Dr. Kelman. Complete intimacy, complete fulfillment.
Congratulations. You made the top 2%.
Now I recognize him inside that new body, behind that new face. Everything he was, he still is. His spirit, his intelligence, his gentleness and patience. God help me, I'm not a bigot. I don't think there's any difference between black or white. I mean, I love him. He's my husband, David. He's my lover. Why can't I let him touch me? Why can't I think of him the way I used to? Dr. Kelman.
Now that's dexterity.
Well, I suspect this Ralph Dixon had a misspent youth.
The grand jury indicted Colton this afternoon. Well, we got a conviction against that hit-and-run case, the one you were so angry about.
Oh, that old man that was run down. Good.
Yeah, that's right. And that Henrietta Johnson killing. We can't make any progress against the husband. He's got an ironclad alibi. But we do have a prime suspect.
A black man?
No, a white man. We're having an affair, and the details are...
What's disturbing you, Roger? What is it?
The man's our county sheriff, Gene Webb. Now that's going to make it a big, tough case.
I'll say it is. Do we have enough to bind him over?
Yeah, but I think we should wait.
A white sheriff, a black girl, and me, right?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what made me think you wouldn't understand.
Since I feel great, and Dr. Kelman okays it, I plan to return to work the first of next week.
Tell me, do you anticipate any problems, Mr. Rowe?
You know of a district attorney that doesn't have problems?
Unusual problems, Mr. Rowe, now that you're a black man.
Some. If you choose to call me a black man instead of a man.
Hello, Angela. Glad to see you.
How is my son cooking?
Well, considering it's his first press conference, very well. Why don't we wait inside the living room?
It could be a technical matter, couldn't it? I mean, whether you're David Rowe or Ralph Dixon.
No, not technical, nor legal. I am David Rowe. Oh, excuse me, Sybil. If I were Ralph Dixon, how would I know the reason you're not writing a sports column, Holloway? Is because you couldn't resist a $10 betting window. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow's another day.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Rowe.
What about next year? Do you plan to run for re-election?
No comment.
Do you have any plans about meeting the governor, Mr. Rowe?
Yes, I plan to meet with the governor soon and talk.
Are you going to make a television appearance, Mr. Rowe?
No, I plan not.
Do you think the state will support you now, Mr. Rowe?
I don't see why not.
Anything new? Any new reports on the Henrietta Johnson killing?
No, not at this time. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Mom.
David, it must have been an awful ordeal.
No, it was all right. Hey, how about some tea? Huh?
I'm sorry about tonight, dear, but I'll have to miss the party.
Everything okay, Lionel?
Everything's okay, Mr. Rowe.
Good. Oh, Judy, the shrimp is marvelous. Well, let me help you, Gloria.
I'm glad to see you, David. Looking so healthy and so attractive.
Oh, thank you. Oh, let's just say it's a fringe benefit.
David, welcome home. Good to see you up and around again.
David.
Hey, Bill, about this game Saturday.
Why don't you sit here?
Thank you. I remember you once thought me attractive.
Nothing was ever wrong with my eyes, Gloria.
Call me, David, when you get out and around.
Why? Because I've changed?
I didn't think you were all that attractive before.
Good evening, Mrs. Robinson. Mr. Robinson.
Lionel, are you all right?
I'm all right.
Good evening, Gene.
Hello, David. Lionel must feel at home around here these days now, eh? Can I have a drink?
No, you've had enough to drink already.
Harry!
I believe Lionel has always felt at home here, Edwin.
Well, I'm surprised to see you here. It's pretty obvious, though, isn't it? Smart politicking, eh? Where are the Underhills? Maybe they went to the PTA meeting.
Not everybody came, Edwin.
Maybe they're not as curious as we are, or as anxious to keep the peace with their wives, like me.
Edwin, you're a little drunk. Why don't you go home? Come on.
Take your hands off me, boy, you freak.
Easy, Maggie, easy. Don't let it throw you. Relax.
It's all right, folks. I'm terribly sorry.
What was all that about?
It was nothing. Forget it, Gloria. How about a little music, Margaret? I'm sorry, please. Come on, get the party going. It's all right.
David.
Welcome back. Thank you. I didn't think I'd ever be back. Good morning, Helen. Richard? Hello, Clyde. Mrs. Moody, how's Jamie?
Very well, thank you, sir.
Hello, Maggie.
Tommy?
Is David home?
Not yet.
Do you mind if I wait? I'd like to talk to him.
Come in.
It's been a tough day.
Like a drink?
I'd love one, yeah. Thank you. You know, I really felt for you at that party.
Oh?
I thought you handled the whole thing wonderfully.
Did I, Tommy? I rather thought I fell to pieces.
Well, how could you help it? Now, look at the circumstances, you know. It's been damned rough on you. After all, Maggie, what are friends for if they can't help out a little? Like silent friends, Maggie. I want you to know you can call me anytime. Even at the office. You know, you've got a hell of a problem, and well, a little love and comfort away from hearth and home just might help. Right?
Right, Tommy. Isn't it as though a little something on the side might not be so different among some of our friends?
It certainly wouldn't.
Maybe weekend away might add a little excitement to life.
That's right.
It might just be the therapy I need.
Well, it'll certainly help.
You know, I haven't seen Sally Ann Kendall in a long while, but I know she just loved the whole idea.
What does she have to do with this?
Or what about Jill Brown? Jill swings real good when she's not at PTA meetings.
Now, wait a minute, Maggie. You mean you're actually sleeping with him? And you're gonna stay married to him?
You know, Tommy, I've always wanted a chance to tell you. I hate being called Maggie. Incidentally, what gave you the courage to make a pass? David, being black?
Hey, fella, you got a light? Yeah.
Dave, how are you?
Fine.
First day back?
First day.
Turn around, let me look at you. Hey, quite a change. You're taller.
I thought you'd never notice.
I approve. Welcome to the club.
One hell of initiation.
You know, there was something you used to say to me when you were white. Now that you're black, I think you ought to keep it in mind.
What was that?
Illegitimi non corporundum est.
Don't let the bastard grind you down. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Well.
Just dropped in to say hello, Chief. Want to pick up the file on the Henrietta Johnson case. How are you, boys? Here it is. I'll talk to you later, Chief. We'll catch up on our homework.
What's wrong, Meg? It's David, isn't it?
No, it's me, Angela. You? I'm not a wife. I haven't been able to be a wife. What kind of woman am I, Angela?
I don't think we ever really know what kind of persons we are. Even when we're forced to make a decision, we close our minds to its meaning. Can I tell you how to love David as your husband? And I can't accept him as my son.
Here you are.
You used to bring me coffee when I was working late before.
Yes, David. Be sure and take this pill. Dr. Kelman was very insistent.
Okay.
Don't stay up too late.
No, I'm just trying to catch up with the office.
You weren't at the office today.
No, I went to visit Elizabeth Dixon. Have you met her? Have you spoke to her? Wait, just a minute, Miss Dixon. David Rowe. David Rowe.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Come in.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I awakened you. I would have phoned, but...
I get to bed late. I'm a singer.
Well, I wanted to tell you that we're grateful.
Grateful?
Grateful to be alive.
Oh, my God.
Mrs. Dixon, is there something I can do to help?
How could you help?
Money, perhaps?
I don't need any money.
Anything.
There's no obligation. Mr. Rowe, you have no obligation.
I offered her help. She said no. And she said there wasn't any obligation. Quite a woman. Excuse me.
David?
And no, I ain't gonna answer no questions. And Peel, I thought you said he was going to cooperate.
Well, now, just a minute. I don't like the sound of that word. That sounds to me like somebody was caught with his foot through the plate glass window of a jewelry store or something like that.
Haven't you? Why'd you come down here, Webb?
Well, I tell you. Now, I just thought I'd come down here and take a look at the great liberal. The defender of the oppressed. The big white daddy of all the niggers in this county. Who'd turn nigger himself. That's kind of like sublime justice, wouldn't you say? I ain't gonna answer no questions asked to me by no nigger. Now that I've had my look, I get back to work.
Book him.
Booking him?
That's right. We're booking him.
You sure you haven't got your own axe to grind? Maybe got yourself a crusade because the sheriff was mixed up in a civil rights case a few years ago? You cleared this with the mayor? With the governor? Tell me, when was the last time you talked with Bill Chambers?
The medical history. I've been hearing some rumbling about the color of your skin.
Yes.
You hear one single stupid word, and you tell the most unscrupulous, the most underhanded politician in the state, and I'll do something about it. What's the matter?
Nothing. It means a great deal to me, Bill.
Make it 2 rare roast beefs.
Oh, make mine well done, please.
We get along, David, because we think alike. We're realists. I want to know about Gene Webb. He guilty?
Yes, I think he is.
Of course, we've got to be absolutely sure we can get a conviction. And that's pretty tough, even with an ironclad case here in Darien County.
We'll try.
All I'm saying is, are you sure? If you are, I'm with you. There's still a lot of good you can do before next fall.
Oh, the election?
Yes. Even then, the party won't drop you.
Drop me?
Hell no. That brain of yours is very important to us. It's one of the brightest, sharpest things we've had around here in 20 years. We'll find something useful for you to do.
Useful? Hey, wait a minute. You're going to dump me.
Well, you can't run for DA again, can you?
And why not?
Who'd vote for you, David? To a white man, you're black. To a black man, you're a freak. You couldn't get elected as dog catcher here in Doreen County. Well, what the hell's the matter? That's politics. Got nothing to do with us personally.
Then why the hell are you trying to sell me out?
I'm not trying to sell you out. What the hell do you want me to do?
Stand up and be counted.
Margaret! Margaret!
Hello?
Mr. Rowe, this is Jessica at the office. Mrs. Rowe is having dinner this evening at your mother's. She'd like you to join them.
Want some company?
Nothing.
May I have a martini, Harry, please?
Sure.
Well, you look like you got the blues, baby. Sure you don't want some cheering up?
No, thanks.
But don't I know you? Haven't I seen you before?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, okay. Maybe you're interested in making new friends.
I'm sorry. You're wasting your time.
I dig. Well, you're out of luck, sweet. 'Cause all the cats in here are straight. But you do ring a bell. Hey, wait a minute. I do know who you are. You're David Rowe, the DA. The instant Negro. Have you tried out the new equipment yet? I confess I'm fascinated.
What good are days without sunshine? You made the skies above blue. Now that you're gone, days are dreary.
Well, you lied to me, baby.
What good am
You do want company.
without you?
Just wasn't mine you wanted. Bye.
What good are nights without love dreams? You made my dreaming come true. Now that you've gone, nights are empty. What good am I without you? If I can't have you there with me to share each joy and care. What good are birds that sing, the flowers in spring? Oh, what darn good is anything? Your love could make me be something. A million things I could do, but all alone I'm just nothing. What good am I without you? If I can't have you there with me to share each joy and care. What good are birds that sing, the flowers in spring. What darn good is anything? Your love could make me be something. A million things I could do, but all alone I'm just nothing. What good am I without you?
Hello.
I'm glad you came.
Would you like a drink? I really would like to talk to you.
I'll speak to Mako.
About what?
Taking a break?
Well, what about it? Oh, it's the brother with the new brain. Yeah, well, I heard you dropped in. Is he trying to put a claim on you? Well, all the brothers in the community understand that he thinks that he's white.
Mako, I think you're coming on too strong.
Baby, I've been waiting too long for you.
Well, waiting doesn't give you rights.
You signed a contract.
Just to sing.
Hold it. Do you know what's stitched inside of this freak's head? A white politician's brain. You're not leaving here with any white nigger. You're not going anywhere. You're going out there on that stage and perform for my customers just like your contract said.
You're a loser, Mako. You picked the right brain, but the wrong body.
It's your right hand. Ralph was left-handed.
Well, that explains why my left arm was stronger than my right.
Would you like a drink? A bourbon?
No, my doctor won't allow me to drink. Well, thanks for fixing my hand.
Are you hungry? I could fix some scrambled eggs or some coffee.
No eggs. How about some coffee?
Good.
Once inside the club, for the first time, I wasn't self-conscious. I wasn't thinking about what I looked like and what other people were thinking.
I could have accepted the accident, my husband's death. I would have gotten used to being without him. Except for you. It would have hurt, but not like this. I wanted you to come back. I wanted to see you again. When I look at you, I see Ralph. I see his face. I see his lips. I feel his hands. I see his eyes, but not his love. Ralph is dead.
Who am I, Elizabeth? Who am I?
I thought you might have spent the night here.
No, I didn't.
My message.
What?
I said, did you get the message that I left?
Yes, I got it.
Are you leaving me, David? Bill Chambers called last night, and he said that he hoped that you got your good common sense back. He said to tell you that you shouldn't do anything foolish. Please don't do anything foolish, David.
Oh, Meg, haven't we both been foolish? Hoping, expecting for some kind of miracle? I just have to stop making claims on you I have no right to make.
I haven't said you have no right, David.
No, but I got the message.
What message, David? Did I remember you the way you were? Different hands, different eyes? Did I remember the way you walked, the way you smiled, the sound of your voice? Did I remember the way you made love to me? That message, David? Or are you just wallowing in your own self-pity, saying, Margaret should know how I feel inside. She should know that I'm just the same inside. God damn it, David, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to take an aphrodisiac? Do you want me to get stoned? Do you want me to walk into your bed under hypnosis?
Have I been wallowing in my own self-pity?
Sinking!
Hello. Speaking. Yes, speaking. State Capitol. Good morning. Hello, Margaret. The Attorney General. Good morning, Clyde. Yes, how are you? Oh, yes, I've gone over the evidence and the situation. But no. No, I don't think the eyes of the world in our fair state have anything to do with whether I prosecute or not. No, listen, what? Hello? Did Bill Chambers say anything to you about Gene Webb?
Wants to talk to you about it.
Roger. I want a timetable of the night of the murder. A minute-by-minute breakdown of Gene Webb, and I'll check out that ironclad alibi of the husband myself. Come on, Scupper.
We'd ate together and gone on over to Earl's house, and Henrietta wasn't there.
So go on, please.
We stayed right there at Earl's house all night. Henrietta never did come home.
And neither of you left the house?
No. About 10 o'clock, we turned on the television. Watched the Western, the news, and a talk show. About 1, we turned off the television. Went to sleep.
So between the hours of 10 and 1, you both were in Earl Johnson's house, correct?
Yes, sir. But it was really from about 9 through the rest of the night.
All right, Mr. Fredericks. Thank you very much. Roger, will you take him downstairs and have him sign a deposition, please? Right. No other suspect besides Webb, right?
We're still looking.
It's been 4 months, Chief.
We've solved cases after 4 years.
Why are you so reluctant?
I'm not convinced Gene Webb killed her.
I think it's because you don't want to see a law officer brought to trial.
No, I don't. Especially this kind of crime here in our county. We'll make headlines from Maine to Hawaii.
We will? I think you've been talking to Mayor Farrell.
You want me to testify at the hearing?
No. No, I don't think so.
The schedule works out right. We'll plan the hearing for the week of February 8th. I don't care who's on the bench, as long as it isn't Forrest.
That works out. He won't be there.
We'll put on only what we absolutely need to pin Webb to the scene.
Withhold information?
Can you think of a better way to start balancing the odds?
You sound like my old boss now.
What are you grinning about?
District attorney with a black skin getting a conviction against a white sheriff here in Darlene County?
Frankly, I was surprised you haven't had a migraine attack before this, David. It was expected. We hope the attacks will be less severe as time goes on. Perhaps disappear eventually. What other residual effects you may have, I don't know. The tests we've taken indicate there isn't much wrong with you. It's the old story. When you discover your own body, you'll like what you have.
And then, Doctor?
Until then, be a bit of a hypochondriac. Observe and analyze yourself. You're going to need medication for the rest of your life. Physical therapy, too. Only I suspect you overdid my instructions for mild exercise, and the sauna tripped the migraine.
Honey, Bill Chambers called earlier today. Didn't leave a message. And Governor Lautrette. He just asked after your health. Said it wasn't important.
The hell it wasn't.
It's about Gene Webb, isn't it? Evening papers are full of the murder again.
They're worried about the stink, not whether I'll get a conviction.
Is it worth fighting for, David?
Some things are. Or aren't they? Good night, Meg.
Now, inasmuch as the defense has chosen not to present its case, the state having established a crime and the probability of the defendant's guilt, the court hereby orders the prisoner bound over for trial by jury. This hearing is concluded.
You were glad to get out of here. Think how glad I am to get out of here.
You have no chance, David. No chance. I thought you had more sense than to put up battle lines when the odds are so much against you. You'll strip yourself, David. There'll be nothing left.
Margaret. Here.
Oh, Bill.
It's good of you to come. Please sit down.
All right. Thank you.
I'd like to talk to you as a friend, if I might.
I thought you always did, Bill. What's wrong?
I want David to dismiss the case.
Isn't that something you have to say to him?
What would you like to drink?
Scotch and the rocks?
2 shivers, please. Look, Margaret, I know he's hurt. He sees everything he's worked for all these years going to the boards. When's his birthday? What sign was he born under?
Scorpio. Bill, isn't it possible that David's prosecuting because it's his duty, because he's an honest man with integrity?
Look, I went through the campaigns with him. You don't become district attorney here without staining your lily white integrity just a little.
Well, what do you think I can do?
This isn't the way for him to prove himself. You've got to make adjustments. Look at me. I'll always be a backroom man. What's wrong with that?
And have you lost your identity? Have you lost your friends? Has your whole world changed?
How did a Scorpio ever find a woman like you?
Bill, you and I know David is his own man. Don't sell him short.
Look, Margaret. Tell him the assigned trial judge has disqualified himself. Judge Forrest is going to be on that bench.
Go ahead, Roger. I'll meet you there.
Mr. Rowe, it's the governor, Governor Latourette.
I'll be damned. David Rowe, I'll be damned.
Governor, this is an unexpected pleasure.
I flew in on the spur of the moment, so to speak.
And caught me at a most inopportune moment. The trial begins this morning.
Yes, I know. We live in an age of miracles, we surely do. you a favor, David. A very special, personal favor. I came all the way down from the Capitol to put this on a personal basis.
Governor, I'm not going to dismiss the case.
David, haven't you got any sense of loyalty? The party has got to take care of its own.
Governor, I suggest you clarify your official position.
Hell, my official position doesn't need clarifying. I've spent my whole political life setting it forth. Everybody knows exactly what it is. I represent the majority, David. That's how I got elected. That's how I can get elected United States Senator next year. Now, how the hell can I uphold my image if you make a crusade out of this? You represent my state, David. The party.
The party, Governor, is sick. It's over. Finish.
You are addled, boy. You're corrupted. You are talking to your governor.
You'll have to excuse me, Your Excellency. But I don't want to be late for the hearing.
It appears to me your mind must have been affected by that operation. I may be forced to take nasty steps, boy, nasty. There are such things as competency hearings, you know. Court orders, impeachment proceedings. Who did the people elect district attorney, a white man or a black man? Look, boy,
Save that little boy talk for that 17-year-old girl you're keeping on the side. If I didn't know that she was a hooker, I'd have prosecuted you for rape a long time ago.
What do you mean, a hooker?
And as far as my competency and identity are concerned, 24 medical opinions have been written. I am David Rowe, medically and legally. You better catch up with the time, Governor.
State will prove that on Thursday, the 18th of August, the defendant, Sheriff Eugene Webb, did within the terms and meanings of the law, willfully and with malice aforethought, take the life of Henrietta Johnson. Mindful of our obligation to truth and justice, we seek conviction to the charge of first-degree murder. The defendant, a public servant, used his special privileges to force a sadistic and immoral relationship on the victim. We have faith in the honesty and integrity of this court and this jury, that if Eugene Ralph Webb is proved guilty, you are going to find him guilty.
Time of death between 10 o'clock and 11:45 p.m.
They match the prints of Sheriff Webb. Found in the apartment.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you. You may step down.
Why isn't David handling the questioning himself, do you think?
The girl, deceased, was on the couch, dead.
Recognize it, Sergeant?
It was found in the apartment.
I object. Your Honor, I want to know the purpose of exposing that picture to the jury.
We had no idea Counselor would object. We're planning to present the picture in evidence.
You are planning on letting the jury's imagination connect that whip with the picture. Your Honor.
Put that back on the table, face down.
We were able to identify some traces of blood, type B, same type as the dead woman.
Mr. District Attorney, my chambers. Court is recessed.
Mr. Chambers.
Yes?
I'm Earl Johnson.
Henrietta Johnson's husband.
Yes, that's right.
I imagine you're quite concerned about the outcome of the trial.
Well, certainly am.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Johnson. I'm sure justice will be served.
I consider exposing that picture of the dead girl the way you did a mark of disrespect for me personally and an outright flagrant contempt of court legally. I'd like to know why you did it.
I thought it the lesser of two evils.
What two evils?
Actually introducing that picture into evidence.
What are you talking about?
I think the evidence is gruesome enough. If you examine the picture closely, you'll find there's a large number of small holes in it.
Small holes?
Darts. Our esteemed sheriff, he kept the picture in his office. He tossed darts at various target areas. I thought in good taste to forego putting the picture into evidence, if I could use it otherwise.
You made a deal with yourself.
Yes, that's right. But if you find me in contempt, I'll have to play it your way.
You can't get a conviction in my court, Rowe.
And I'll have no more such deals either.
Okay. All right, that's fine with me. I'll conduct the prosecution properly, impartially, and legally. Just as legally, properly, and impartially as a former Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan will handle the balance of this trial. Do I make myself clear, Your Honor? Look, I don't want to be charged with misconduct or contempt, any more than you want to be exposed as a former Ku Kluxer.
Get your black hide out of my sight.
My pleasure. Remember, black is beautiful.
Mr. Rowe, why aren't you conducting the examination?
Are you satisfied with the way the trial is going?
Do you intend to stay in the background during the entire
Do you
trial?
really expect to get a conviction?
Yes, I do. I believe in our state's judicial system.
Mrs. Rowe, come in. Won't you sit down? Now that you're here, you're wondering why you came? You've never slept with a black man before, is that it? Or is it that you still haven't slept with one?
Don't you ever think that somehow he's still your husband?
Not anymore. No, I found out he doesn't belong to me anymore. He's not Ralph.
Yeah, but does he belong to me?
David is very frightened. Everything and everyone around him is strange. He's got nothing to hold on to. I think you could give him comfort until he finds out exactly where he belongs. In which world? White or black?
Mrs. Dixon, I don't even know what world I'm in.
Sometimes there are some things a person can't do. Hang-ups that are not her own fault. It doesn't matter what color he is. Your husband's a good man. I don't know you at all, Mrs. Rowe. I don't know how much you want him.
Now he's participating.
So he is, and with a black man on the stand.
Mr. Marlin, what is your occupation?
I'm the superintendent of the Paradise Arms.
Do you recall an evening less than 5 months ago, a Thursday evening? The date was July 20th.
Yes, I do.
That was 19 days before the murder. Would you please tell the court why you remember this particular date?
That was the night that Henrietta banged on my apartment door. I let her in. She was crying. Her dress was torn, and she was bleeding.
Bleeding?
Across her back and across her legs. She told me, for God's sake, lock the door. The sheriff was after her, and he whipped her, and he was going to kill her. He didn't even want her looking at any other man, including her own husband. She called the police. She said on the phone she'll swear a warrant this time. What difference did it make what reason he killed her for? She was tired of getting whipped. She was tired of being scared. He was no good. That man was no good. Yeah. I remember that night. I will never forget that night.
Miss Landis, I refer you to the night of Tuesday, August the 18th.
Would you please tell the court what transpired that night?
I was just leaving my apartment, closing my door, when poor Henrietta was just going into her apartment across the hall. And I said, "Hello, Henrietta." And she said, "Hello, Rose." I went down the elevator to the front door just as the sheriff was coming in. We squeezed past each other sideways. And I said, "Evening, Sheriff." And he said,
What?
"Uh."
Was that his usual salutation, Miss Landis?
No. I remember thinking he must have been in a particular good mood.
Miss Landis, do you remember what the time was?
It was 5 minutes after 10.
Thank you.
The sheriff called me. I wasn't at home. I was at a dinner. He reached me about 10:30. Asked me to come over to the apartment. He didn't say what for.
Go on, Chief.
Woman was dead. She was on the floor. Sheriff said he found her that way. Said when he unlocked the door and came in, record player was blaring away and she was dead on the floor.
And what else did he say, Chief? What else did Sheriff Webb say to you, Chief?
He covered his face in his hands. He said, Chief, my God, Chief, I killed her.
That's all, Chief.
I'm giving you the wrong impression.
How's that, Chief? You quoted the defendant verbatim, didn't you? Isn't that exactly what he said to you?
I know, but...
That's all, Chief.
Just a second, Your Honor.
Are you through with this witness, Counselor? Yes, Your Honor. And with this witness, the prosecution rests.
Chief Enfield, you were going to explain...
Objection, Your Honor. The witness can't explain anything.
He's going to explain what the defendant meant.
I must object, Your Honor. Counselor is trying to elicit an opinion. If the counselor wishes to go into the esoterics of the testimony, he can put on best evidence. Defendant in this case, who can best explain for himself what he meant when he said, my God, I killed her.
Your Honor, I object to this whole procedure. I ask that this witness's testimony be stricken from the record, that the jury be instructed to disregard the statements made by Chief Enfield, and that the prosecutor be admonished to refrain from these sensational practices.
Defense objection is overruled. Prosecution objection sustained. Defense has the privilege of putting defendant on the stand to explain his own words. Mr. Nash?
Put me on.
Under cross-examination, you'd be wide open.
I'm not afraid of that assistant DA punk.
What about Rowe?
What about him? Question me. Hasn't questioned a white man in the whole trial. He just put me up to there.
Mr. Nash?
Call Eugene Webb to the stand.
Got to that judge. He's neutralized.
I want to try just 2 points, Sheriff. Did you kill Henrietta Johnson?
No, I did not.
What happened that night?
I got to the apartment and she was already dead.
And what did you say to Chief Enfield?
I said to Chief Enfield, my God, I killed her, but I didn't mean I actually killed her. I mean, it was like as if, well, if she had a father whose daughter had killed herself because he wouldn't let her go to a dance or something like that.
And that's all you meant?
That is all.
Your witness?
Do we understand you to mean that your instincts towards Henrietta Johnson were like those of a father to his daughter? Shall I repeat the question?
I was just trying to explain what I meant.
There is an easier way. You could try telling the truth.
I told the truth.
Have you? Exhibit G. What's the truth about Exhibit G? The whip with Henrietta Johnson's blood on it. What was that scene at the superintendent's apartment? I didn't put on the doctor that treated her for lacerations. Should I have, Sheriff Webb? Rose Landis. I just wanted to establish that there could not have been more than 2 or 3 minutes between the time she saw Henrietta Johnson alive and when the sheriff squeezed past her in the doorway on his way upstairs. Now, I could have asked her on how many occasions she heard screams across the hall from the apartment. What's the truth about that, Sheriff Webb? Your Honor, would you please instruct the witness to answer the questions?
Answer the question, Sheriff. Are these allegations based on the fact that you whipped the deceased?
Well, she deserves a belting every once in a while.
Would you repeat that, please?
I said she deserved a belting every once in a while.
What for?
What?
I said, what for? Why did she need a belting? What did she do that demanded that kind of punishment?
Played around.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. You'll have to repeat that. I can't hear you.
She played around!
Oh, I see. You mean she was unfaithful to you? Tell me, Sheriff, did you have a proprietary interest in her? Did she belong to you? Had you paid for her?
What do you mean, paid?
Like a mistress. You were paying for an apartment you both were sharing together. You were buying her new clothes, taking her out to restaurants, nightclubs, all out of the way places, of course. And all this despite the fact that both of you were married.
Yeah.
And that gave you the right to demand devotion, fidelity, and submission.
What are you making it out like? I never denied we had something going.
No, I'm making it out to be something much more than that. I'm not going to ask you why you called Chief Enfield instead of reporting the death as prescribed by regulations. What pressures you brought to bear on the chief, the mayor, a state senator, the governor himself, to have this murder charge dismissed. I'm not even going through all the physical evidence that already pinned you to your guilt, because all that's been proven beyond any kind of doubt. But what I want to know is why. Why did Henrietta Johnson submit to your sadistic behavior, the degradation, the physical brutality again and again and again? Why? I suggest that you took advantage of your office, given to you in trust by the people of this state, and that you used it to threaten, to coerce Henrietta Johnson. Is this not true? Or is it possible that we're to believe that Henrietta Johnson, or any woman, could have feelings for a man like you?
I did not kill her.
You killed her, Chief. And the state's going to prove?
I did not kill her. Why would I kill the one thing in my life that was... I mean, she was, It's not the way you tell it. My God, she was the one thing in my life that made me happy. She made me feel good. She made me laugh. She made me feel like a giant, a giant. Yes, I beat her, but I didn't kill her. Like bitch. Taunt me, Earl and I made it last night, honey. Oh, don't be upset. Everything I give out, I just come back like bread and water. She needed a whipping. Fly away from me, fly away with someone else. Just give herself to some other man. And to remember she was colored. Things were between us, as you think there was no difference. But no, I didn't kill her. Not her. Why would I kill something like that?
Because of jealousy. Sick, insane jealousy.
The jury will retire and assess, evaluate, and deliberate on the evidence presented during this trial. Bearing in mind that to find the defendant not guilty, there must be a reasonable doubt. And will find the defendant not guilty or guilty as charged according to the evidence and your consciences. You may retire now and consider the case before you. Court is adjourned.
That horrible, racist bigot can love a black woman so desperately. And
You love him.
You go on, I'm gonna wait for David.
David, you remember Tom Callicott, East Side Precinct?
Of course. Congratulations, Mr. District Attorney. Brilliant prosecution.
Thank you.
I want to tell you that sentiment has changed in the black community. David? I think we know where you're at now. You know, when Bill first asked about your status, we were all a little concerned, but I think with the guilty verdict, you'll get the black vote.
I hope so.
I never saw a jury more ready for conviction. You were right. I was wrong. The way this is going, the publicity you're getting, the image you're building, we can even think about State Attorney General for next year. Well, David, no hard feelings?
No hard feelings. We're just hard-nosed pragmatists.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Open and shut, Mr. Rowe. This jury will convict before morning. Even the judge's instructions left no escape.
Historical case, Mr. Rowe.
Thank you.
Could you possibly tell us about your plans following the trial?
I think I may go fishing. Do you think you moved to the state capitol?
I haven't made any commitments.
Well, what about the governor and Bill Chambers?
I need you to talk to him yourself.
I love you, Meg. To remember she was colored. Things were between us, as you think there was no difference.
All right, Scupper, you've had a few drinks. You want to tell us about it?
Well, there was a fight in the bar, and they called the police. Patrol car brought me here.
You talked.
I talk like hell.
He said you talked a lot in the patrol car.
Sure, he'd say that. That's the sheriff's patrol car.
He said you talked about a record album Henrietta wanted Earl Johnson to buy for her that night. The same night, Scupper, the sheriff found Henrietta dead in her apartment with a record player blaring away.
Come on, Scupper. Up on your feet. Over here. Sit down. You comfortable?
Yeah.
How about a drink? By the way, did Earl Johnson buy that album for Henrietta? Here you go. Oh. Now, let's see if I have all the facts straight. You testified that you spent the evening with Earl Johnson between the hours of 9 and 1. Is that correct? Did you go there later, or did you both go together?
No, I didn't go with him.
What?
I mean...
What do you mean, Scupper? Did you spend the evening with Earl Johnson, or did you not? Now tell me, goddammit, did Earl Johnson kill Henrietta? Have you perjured yourself?
Let the son of a bitch burn. Let the bastard go up and smoke me.
How much? How much, Scupper, to put a knife in your friend's back? $10,000? A lifetime job? How much? Answer me, goddammit. How'd they get to you?
Yeah. That's right. They said you were too smart.
Get him out of here.
What do you want me to do with him?
Keep him out of sight. Go ahead. Oh, Meg, what are you doing here?
Scupper had been lying?
They got to him somehow. Threats, blackmail. I don't know how, but they got to him. Despite the fact he went through one hell of a grilling.
Well, could you get a continuance?
No, Meg. The jury's in deliberation now. Can you put any kind of doubt in their mind? Well, I'll never get a conviction.
What are you going to do, David?
Oh, Meg, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've made them eat their prejudices and give me back my place. And I'm not about to give it up just because he lied. Well, now, what's the matter with you? Don't you recognize politics? The payoffs? The lies? The games?
Well, I've never seen you like this, David.
Well, perhaps it's because you haven't looked in months. Now, come to Meg, please. Now, don't start rationalizing your bigotry, because I really don't want to hear it. Look, just take your white morality and your white ass the hell out of here.
Hey, man, what's up? Got the nerve to be rapping.
You testified that you spent the evening with Earl Johnson between the hours of 9 and 1. Is that correct? Did you go there later, or did you both go together?
No, I didn't go with him.
What?
I mean...
What do you mean, Scupper? Did you spend the evening with Earl Johnson, or did you not?
Well...
Now tell me, goddammit, did Earl Johnson kill Henrietta? Have you perjured yourself?
Let the son of a bitch burn.
Is that correct? Did you go there later, or did you both go together?
No, I didn't go with him.
What?
I mean...
What do you mean, Scupper?
I wonder if I can have one.
The doctor said not yet, not yet.
Want to know about Gene Ware? Is he guilty?
Let the son of a bitch burn. Son of a bitch burn.
Oh, hello, Culver.
Hi, David. What are you doing here so late? Anything wrong?
No. Tired.
Hey, how about a cup of coffee?
You accept me as an ethical, moral human being?
Of course, David. Is anything different now?
What's the morality on convicting a man of a crime of which he might not be guilty, even though he's guilty 20 times over?
Are you talking about Webb?
What if he's innocent?
Is he?
What if he is?
It's a little late in the day, David.
That's no counsel, friend.
You don't want counsel, David. You don't need it. You know as well as I do what'll happen if you dismiss this case now, before the jury comes in. The bastards grind away, don't they?
The court is in session. Has the jury reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor.
If the court pleases. Less than 12 hours ago, certain new evidence was brought to my attention which materially affects this case. The state, therefore, asks that the charges be dismissed against the defendant, Eugene R. Webb.
The jury is dismissed with the court's thanks. This case is closed and the court dismissed.
Mr. Rowe, we have some information about this new evidence, please.
Congratulations.
Very good work.
Why?
Right just right, Jeff. Right just right, Jeff.
Isn't that guy with a picture in the paper?
Why, yes. That's the man with the brain transplant.
Can I have your pen?
American Airlines announced the arrival of Flight 560 from St. Louis at gate number 20.
Please, sir? Can I have your autograph? Please, sir?
Excuse me.
Hello?
This is Chief Enfield, Mr. Rowe. Is the district attorney at home?
No, he isn't.
Do you know where I can reach him?
I'm sorry, I don't.
I'm over here at Earl Johnson's house. He's killed himself.
You don't have to run away. Earl Johnson just killed himself.
Is that what you came here to tell me? How did you find me?
Where else would you be? Why are you leaving?
I have no reason to stay. My work. I can't live with you anymore, Margaret.
David, I love you.
You don't. You can't.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to American Airlines Astrojet Flight 320.
No.
We are ready to board
David,
your Astrojet.
give me the chance. If you're running away, let me run with you. If you want to stay here and fight, I'll stay here and fight with you.
Meg, it's too late. I've got to go away and think things over. After a while, well, I'll come back and, well, we'll see. Goodbye, Meg.
Passengers holding white-colored boarding passes with seats numbers 1A to 9A may board for gate 31. Please have your boarding passes available for the stewardess as you board. Thank you.
Thank you.